Oh, oh, oh. Please subscribe. AmbitionZ.
VapeR.
AmbitionZ.
VapeR.
AmbitionZ.
VapeR.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to AmbitionZ VapeR. Today I got a review for you, an anticipated one, man. It's on the MCM Mods Underground version 2.5 Resin Series Mechanical Box Mod. So I purchased this from Dragon's Den VapeR. For the purpose of this review, it will not change my opinion. It is a beautiful Philippine made by MCM Mods Underground version 2.5, and it's made of resin and brass. It's mostly brass and resin, okay? It's a hybrid connection series unregulated box mod. Two 18650s. You can also run it in 3 different ways. Well, mostly 2 different ways, but you can run it as a single 18650 parallel mechanical, you know, like a mech mod, all right? And you can also run it as a series. Really been enjoying it. I really been enjoying this. I'll take the button apart for you. I'll show you everything. Give you the dimensions, give you the weight of it with 2 18650s in an IDA on top. And then when we come back up, we're going to vape on it, do pros and cons, final thoughts. Mugga stole my book bag, or the FDA, you know, stole my shit. Would I go out and buy it, all right? So I got some Sony VTC4s in here. That's what I like to use. I got James Muckland Series Alien Claptons in here, 0.3 ohms, dual coil for a series mech. I'm going to talk to you guys about, you know, ohms and recommended ohms for series unregulated devices. This is the lowest I would go personally on a series. Some people do go 0.25. That's the lowest they'll go on it, but I like to stay at 0.3. So let's dive down and let's check out the Underground version 2.5 Resin Series box. This is the package that it comes in. All right, it's going to have your MCM Mods logo. It's going to say Underground on the side. All right. Comes in a tin can. You get your box mod inside. Okay, we'll look at it in a second. So it's going to come with this. This is an alternate tube if you'd like to run it in parallel mode. Okay, I'll talk about that in a second. You also get a package of a heatsink fin. Okay, to disperse the heat, which I would highly recommend to use. And it also has this piece of Delrin. All right. That you can put on the 510. You know, you can put it here. You know, or you can put it here. And this is full brass. Copper 510 pin. Good threads. Delrin. Alright, the heatsink fins. Okay. That would just help, you know, with condensation and definitely heat. So you can use with it, without it, you know. And it also comes with his business card. So Milek SUY is the owner. MCMmods.com. All right, all his information. Okay. But I got this off Dragon's Den vapor.com. All right. So here's the box mod. All right. It says MCM Mods Underground. Has a beautiful, I love his logo, man. Really, really nice logo. It's made out of resin. Bunch of beautiful different colors you can choose from. Alright, I mean, this thing's just freaking gorgeous, bro. You got holes for ventilation on both sides. Okay. Let me give you some specs on it. So it's a series. This is a series unregulated mechanical box mod. Alright, there's 3 ways you can set this up. Okay. It comes with a battery adapter for single battery option. If you want to run it for 4.2 volts, really 3.7 volts, but 4.2 volts, okay. You would put that in one side versus the one of the batteries, but it would turn into a single 18650 parallel mechanical. All right. So that's what this is for. Okay. This would go just one of the batteries. You put this in, it creates the connection. All right. It's just white Delrin. Copper connection, okay? This is a hybrid 510 connection, okay? It's made out of Delrin and brass on the switch, which I'm going to talk about. It's got a resin body, all right? Brass internals, stainless steel plates on each side. This is the old version of what they're saying. It's serialized, okay? And the size of it, let me give you the dimensions. So it's 71.86 millimeters tall, 53.55 millimeters that way. It's going to be 28.91 millimeters thick. All right, so you won't have any overhang with 25s and below. That's the fire button. I got the Apocalypse RDA on here, heat treated. Here's the box. I was gonna try to take this apart, but I don't have that Allen key. So, I'm sorry I can't take it apart, but there's 2 long rods that go down, and you want to do these as well, and you can pop out this plate, and you can pop out this plate as well. All right, that's basically it. This isn't very complicated box mod. All right, but on the bottom this is brass. Okay, this does say MCM Mods Philippines 1806. This is confusing me because this says 1770 and that says 1806. So the serial numbers aren't matching up. That's kind of a con. Okay. They should definitely match. But, yeah. But so that's brass. All right. Now, if you look inside, if you want to clean it, you'd have to take these off, clean that, okay, and then you can take out this plate. But on the inside of that plate, there's just brass connections. There's little prongs that come up, just kind of something like that. And one's higher than the other, and that's how you're going to know how you're going to want to put it. So if you wanted to run it in parallel, you would just pop one of those in. It's going to come with this inside of it. And then, you'd put your atomizer on this side, and and your button on you'd put your atomizer on this side, and you put your battery in there, negative facing up for the button, and that would create the connection. Okay. But this is the hybrid 510. It's brass, good threads. Okay, very nice threads on this. And then it has Delrin on the other side. It's got some holes for ventilation. Delrin to help with the heat dissipation. Okay. Nice designs on it. I like that. Now here's the switch. It's got a nice piece of Delrin. And basically how it works is this is Delrin switch. You put in that switch and it makes a connection. Now if you want to take apart the switch, I'll take apart the switch for you. And inside you have a spring. You take that out of the housing. Alright, good threads in there. And that's stainless steel. Alright, so it looks like silver plated brass maybe. Okay. Just gonna want to line up the logo. That's how to do it on screen, on camera, but pop it through. That's the spring. It's a nice throw, not too firm, not too hard. It's a nice throw. Okay. All right. All right. So it's very thick resin on the outside. It's got brass. And it's got the brass contacts on the bottom. This is a hot hitter for sure. So the way you can tell is one battery is going to sit higher than the other. And that's going to be, that's where you want the negative facing up to be, where the switch is going to be. The switch is always going to hit on the negative portion of the battery, and the 510 is going to be on the side where the positive is. I mean, it kind of makes sense, you know? And that contact on the bottom is completing the connection. You could have the heat sink fin on with the 510. You know, it's going to help dissipate the heat because take your hybrid. You want to make sure you have a protruding 510 pin. You see that 510? You want to use a pin that's protruding. This is a mechanical, it's a hybrid, dude, so you could be in some serious trouble. All right, you want to make sure it's protruding. That's protruding plenty. I got some James Mucklin series in here. I gotta clean them up. Looking a little gunky, but really awesome performing series alien Claptons. You have to know your Ohm's law, you have to know your battery safety, shit like that. But don't put these in backwards as well, okay? You want that always going on the positive side. If you put that over here, man, and you put the switch, forget about it. You'd have a hard short, most definitely. If you put them both up or both down, you're going to have problems, all right? You have to be specific on the way you put your batteries in. All right, so you put this on this side. The threads are really, really nice on this. Nice and smooth. All right, you could put that heatsink fin if you wanted to. It would bring it up a little bit. Okay. You know, if you wanted to, okay. And then you're gonna take your switch. Now these little knurlings on here are to help grab the button. Not too tight. All right, so that recesses a little bit. All right. And that's how it's going to look. Really small, like the size of a cigarette box. I really like the size of it. With batteries, is 271 grams in weight. Not that heavy, but it's definitely solid. I just love this thing as a series, man. That's why I got it. Bunch of different colors you can choose from. No one is alike. So if you'd like to get one like this one I copped, you can't get the same color. There's a lot more on Dragon's Den, vapor.com. I'll put a link in the description where you can pick this up. I'll also put a link in the description to MCM Mods, the makers of this. All right, really, really good guy that's making some quality stuff, man, for sure. So you got the battery ventilation on that side, battery ventilation on that side. This doesn't really get hot. The switch never gets hot on me, but the IDA does get hot. It might be a good idea to use the heatsink fin. You know, you might lose a little bit of battery sag, but voltage drop, but not a lot. I mean, you're kicking out 8.4 volts, so you know, you might get like 8.2 and then drop off. You know what I mean? But I like it like this. I like just having the straight hybrid. Just the way I've been rocking it, and this has been one of my favorite box mods for sure. This is like way better than a Noisy Cricket. If you're gonna ask me, man, this is solid. Filipino made, nice brass. You can take that apart to clean off all the plates on it. You know, nice and flush. Sits flat on the table. Nice and thick resin. It's not thin by any stretch of the means. And I think they're gorgeous. I think he makes some gorgeous box mods, bro. I had to grab it when I saw it. But yeah, let's go back up top. Let's vape on it, talk on it, pros and cons, and all that stuff, guys. I'll see you guys in a minute. AmbitionZ, how do you feel about it? What do you like about it? What you don't like about it? This is definitely my favorite series box mod. It just is. Love the colors of it. No two are alike. I like how it has brass. You know, copper's probably, there's gold's the hottest hitting. Then it's probably like copper. I know there's some in between, but then there's brass. And depending on what type of brass you have, like if it's Aussie brass, that's a really good one for a hot hitter. You know, I don't think this is Aussie brass. This is just brass. I don't know what type of brass it is, but it does hit hard, man. I mean, it's kicking out 8.4 volts on freshly charged batteries, so this thing definitely puts out. And it's a hybrid connection, so you got to make sure you have a protruding 510 pin, you know, if you're going to be putting it on this. I like how it comes with the heatsink fin. Definitely like how it comes with the heatsink fin and that Delrin piece to dissipate the heat and get condensation from getting on the box mod. So that's going to be a pro. The resin is a big effing pro. The size of it, you can thumb fire it like that, or you can fire it like that. Sometimes I do each one, but this way is really comfortable. It's a hot hitter, man. And, I mean, it still puts out when the battery's, like, low. Like, these batteries aren't fresh right now, and it's still putting out like a champ. Like an effing champ. Now, I'm going to go over a couple, not too many cons, but I'm going to go over a couple cons that, subjective cons, okay? I kind of wish the bolts were something different, like, you know, a universal, like Phillips head, flathead. I don't have that Allen key laying around, so I'm gonna have to go buy one if I want to go clean this, okay? So you can definitely clean it. It's cool that it gave you the option if you want to run it parallel with that Delrin piece, but you're only going to be running it with one 18650, so it's going to be like a mech mod. It's cool that it gives you the option, but I would have liked it on the bottom if he somehow made the bottom like the Noisy Cricket, where I could put my batteries in, you know, maybe flip this pot or do something so I can have both batteries facing up. You know, somehow, I don't know if you can technically do it or not, but it'd be nice to have this turn into a parallel, dual 18650 parallel, and then have it as a dual 18650 series. But I don't think you can really do that with a mechanical. I like the button on it. I like how he has his logo and it's Delrin. The button does not get hot. This button does not get hot one bit. The Delrin doesn't get hot. Sometimes the heat can transfer from the 510 onto the brass plate. Okay, and then sometimes surrounding the Delrin can get a little warm. Doesn't get hot, but it can get warm. But I like how he made the button Delrin because the top of it, where the Delrin is, doesn't get warm, but around it can get a little bit warm. So when you press down to fire it, you might feel a little bit of warmth. That's like chaining it, you know, chaining it at 8.4 volts. So it's really hard to get rid of heat dissipation on such a high-powered device like this one. High-powered mod like this one. I like the logo. Love the colors to it. Love that it's resin. Definitely helps with heat dissipation as well. This thing really doesn't get hot. But the atomizer gets hot, dude. It most definitely does. So I definitely would recommend using the heatsink fin if you'd like to do so to dissipate the heat more efficiently coming from the atomizer to the box mod. So that's nice. All the threads are really, really buttery smooth. No issues with the threads. I like how we add the knurlings on to grab it, to tighten the button down. That's going to be a pro. You have to get your batteries in correctly on this. I have to be very specific on that. Do not put your batteries in incorrectly. It's not indicated anywhere on this which way to put your batteries. So that's going to be a little bit of a con. It could have been easily marked on the inside of the button or the inside on the Delrin. Just kind of do like a nice little etch of which way the batteries should be facing. I think that would be a good safety aspect for people that aren't being vigilant, that can just kind of look and kind of know. You know what I mean? But each battery is one's gonna be raised higher than the other. Okay, so that's how you're gonna know. The one raised higher is gonna be where the atomizer goes, and the one that's raised, that's hanging a little lower, is gonna where you want to put the negative up for the fire switch. Okay, I want to mention that as well. Holes of ventilation, that's nice. I like it, dude. It vapes beautifully. Especially with these James Mucklin series Alien Claptons. It's like I think it's like a 12 or a 15 wrap. I barely got him into the apocalypse, but I did. Vaping tremendously, man. These stay together. These stay together, man. This thing puts out for a while, man. I've been hitting on these batteries for like a couple hours, and it's still pumping out. So I don't think there's a lot of voltage drop on this. Not that it's really going to matter on a series, but I really like it, man. It looks beautiful. It's unique. It's serialized. Great size. Nice and small. Fits beautifully and comfortable in the hand. I love the fire button, how it has the MCM Mods logo on it. But overall, man, I love this thing, dude. This is definitely my favorite series box mod, hands down. I can't put this thing down. I've had this for about 2 weeks, and I can't put it down. I really cannot put it down. It is awesome. Now you can find this at dragonsdenvapor.com. Link on screen and description. That's where I purchased it from. That's where they have them on sale. There's a bunch of different colors that you can choose from. It's $180 for this. I think $180 is a pretty good price point considering it's resin and it's Filipino made. And I think $180, it's definitely, I don't regret any dollar I spent on this. I really don't regret it. I'm going to have this for a long time. It's one of a kind, and this thing hits, and it performs just the way I wanted it to perform. Nice throw on the switch. It's not too firm. It's not too soft. It's really easy. Really easy. It's a very short throw. I'm telling you, this setup, guys, Apocalypse IDA, if you know your battery safety and your Ohm's Law, James Mucklin series Alien Claptons on this bad boy is a beautiful, beautiful setup. I'm in love with the setup, man. You're going to be seeing a lot of this on my Instagram page, man. I'm telling you. Not too many, but there's going to be some on there for sure. Yeah, man, that's what I got for you. All right, I hope you found the video helpful or informative. If you did, leave a like, share, subscribe, comment down below if you have any additional questions or concerns regarding this or anything else for that matter. Content daily, 1080p, 60 frames. Don't waste your bandwidth not being subscribed to the channel. Stay juiced up, squad. I'll catch you on the next one, man. Peace.